Howdy, howdy, every sorry for me talking in my Applejack voice, but one of my friends, Triple Dog, dared me. Damn varmint! In my best pony, impression out of the main six, so I chose Applejack. And then they said for the outro speech, talk like Discord. Mayor Wolf, I got myself into. Oh well. But that's only for the intro and outro speech. I'm talking in different voices. So, yeah, here's the story, every pony. Yeehaw! Chapter 12. The Sweethearts. Spike woke up to Pinkie Pie shaking him. She looked worried at her hair. It wasn't in its crazy state at all. It was flat. He sprang straight up to realize that Rainbow Dash wasn't beside him anymore. He saw a note and went to go pick it up, but Pinkie grabbed him. "Spike! Rainbow Dash! Applejack!" She said, her voice shaking. Spike turned at the sound of his beloved name. "What about Rainbow Dash?" he screamed in her face. "Her and Applejack, they're having a fight. Applejack's really drunk. Rainbow Dash is just angry. Spike, you have to go stop it, please," Pinkie said. Spike gasped. Of course, I'll help," he said, throwing a pair of jeans and slipping some trainers on. He ran out of the house, and it was there, happening right in front of the house. Rainbow Dash and had her hand on top of Applejack's golden locks and was pulling. Applejack was writhing in pain while trying to kick Rainbow Dash's legs from underneath, but it wasn't working. Rainbow Dash was always in the lead, but Spike saw that Applejack was about to take over. She quickly swept her leg against Dashy's, and she fell forwards. Applejack caught her and threw her the other way, climbing on top of her and beginning to throw punches. Spike couldn't watch this anymore. He just ran to Applejack, ripping her off before picking up Rainbow Dash in his arms. "Spike?" she said, looking at him in the eye. And she only just gotten out of the hospital. "Dashy, are you okay?" "Of course. You romantic piece of shit. Go get a life," a slurred voice said. Suddenly, a glass hit his head. He turned as it smashed to see Applejack laughing at herself. He stood up and walked over to her, looking down at her. "What?" he grumbled darkly. "You heard me, asshole," she said. She was drunk, very drunk, and to think, not long ago they were sleeping in the same bed. When she was sad, Spike backed down. "I'm not gonna do this. Not while you're drunk," he said before turning back to Rainbow Dash. "Pussy," Applejack screamed. He turned quickly and punched her in the nose. She wobbled a bit before falling on her ass, rubbing her nose. Spike walked to Rainbow Dash. "Do you need to go to the hospital?" he said smoothly, picking her up. Her eyes closed and shook her head. "No, thank you. I just need to rest," she said before falling asleep in Spike's arms. He sighed and took her inside, going upstairs to lie her on in his bed. He got in beside her and hugged her until he fell asleep again. Fluttershy watched Applejack, anger in her eyes. Applejack slept Fluttershy turned to Brewburn and growled.
How could she?
She hissed. Brewburn raised an eyebrow. I thought you hated Rainbow Dash.
What? Of course not. You might not be in a very good place at the moment. But she's still my best friend,
Fluttershy said. Brewburn put an arm around Fluttershy and hugged her tight. Fluttershy accepted the hug and inhaled his beautiful scent. She couldn't believe he was all hers. She let go of him and then got up.
I need to go see Rainbow Dash. I need to go and see Rainbow Dash. I want to make sure she's okay,
she said before exiting the room. Brewburn followed her closely after. They walked to Twilight's house, hand to hand. When they arrived at the door, Brewburn turned around and kissed her on the nose before Twilight opening the door. What? She snapped. Her eyes looked tired and stressed. Fluttershy looked up worried instantly.
Twilight, what's up?
She said, walking into the house and sitting Twilight down. What's it to you? She growled.
Everything. You're my best friend, Twi. Come on,
she said softly. Twilight sighed. Fine. I haven't slept in a while since the stress with everything going wrong, Twilight said.
Oh, Twilight,
Fluttershy said before enveloping her in a hug. It's true, Fluttershy. You know it is. But I'll try to get some sleep for you, Twilight said, pulling away. Fluttershy smiled.
Well, I have to go and see if Rainbow Dash is okay, so Brewburn and I will be upstairs,
she said before getting up and leading Brewburn upstairs. She knocked softly on the door. She heard Spike call them in. She opened the door and sat next to Rainbow Dash, who was asleep. Her eyes fluttered open, and she stared at Rainbow Dash. What do you want?
I'm here to see my best friend is okay. Of course you are,
Fluttershy asked. Yeah, where's Applejack? She asked. Her voice cracked. She's
asleep in her house. She shouldn't have done that. It was out of precaution,
Fluttershy said. Rainbow Dash smiled. Thanks, Fluttershy. You're great, but I don't deserve it. Don't deserve it. Kind of, maybe. Rainbow Dash said. Spike hit her lightly. Don't say that. It wasn't your fault. You didn't deserve it, Spike said. Fluttershy nodded, and so did Brewburn. I agree, they both said at once. They turned to each other and laughed. Fluttershy could feel the blood rushing to her cheeks and turned back to see Rainbow Dash roll her eyes. Thank God it turned out alright, eh? Spike said. Everyone nodded. Applejack woke up alone. She held her head. Did she have a hangover? Hopefully she didn't do anything stupid while she was wasted. She looked at her knuckles and cursed. They were bruised. So she had done something stupid. She just wondered who she'd done it to. Her thoughts screamed at her to get up and see who it was. but she was too hungover to move. She couldn't touch or think of anyone. No one had done anything. Her eyes suddenly widened up. She hadn't. She jumped up out of bed and her head as pain flooded her thoughts. This damn hangover. She ignored the pain and put on her boots, heading outside. The cold hair bit in her arms, even though she had a t-shirt on, and it was really sunny. She walked to Rainbow Dash's house. The door was wide open, and her belongings were thrown all over the place, like she had been beaten up and dragged away, or robbed. Rainbow Dash quickly shut her door and locked it, so no one would steal any more of her belongings. She turned to see quite a lot of people staring at her. She gulped under her glass and then ran off. She had to warn Spike. Rainbow Dash had been kidnapped. She knocked on Twilight's door and Twilight answered. A look of disgust crossed her face. Is Spike here? Yes. And so is Fluttershy, Brewburn, and Rainbow Dash. They're all seeing if she's okay. After you beat Rainbow Dash up, I'm sure they have no time for you, Twilight snapped before slamming the door in Applejack's face. What? She knew it. Twilight came into the room and Rainbow Dash looked up. Fluttershy and Brewburn were talking about something and Spike was emailing Princess Celestia. Rainbow Dash felt weak, in pain. Twilight sat down next to her. Applejack came around. I sent her away, Twilight said in a soft voice. What did she say? Just asked if Spike was here, and I told her to get lost, Twilight said. Spike growled. I'm going to murder that bitch, he muttered. No, Spike. Maybe she wanted to apologize or something, Rainbow Dash said weakly. I don't care. She hurt you. She hurt my baby girl, Spike said, locking his arms around Rainbow Dash. Warmth flooded Rainbow Dash's body, and she smiled. She really did love Spike. This wouldn't be happening if she did. She didn't. Ew. Soppy much? Twilight said. Rainbow Dash and Brewburn were holding hands. Spike and Rainbow Dash were hugging. Twilight was sitting there alone. Are you okay? Rainbow Dash winking at her. A sharp bit of pain hit her as she moved, but she ignored it. Come along, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Spike laughed. Everyone burst out laughing at Spike's quotation of the memo. Rainbow Dash's eyes began full of tears from the laughter and pain. It hurt when she laughed, and she didn't know why. She hadn't been punched in the chest. Finally, everyone's laughter drifted off, and the doorbell went. Twilight rolled her eyes and went downstairs to see who it was. Spike kissed the tip of Rainbow Dash's nose, and she giggled, pecking him on the lips. And before his soft lips crashed against hers, they moved together, and it felt so right, so good, like he was the only one for her, which she knew he was. Aw, she heard Fluttershy said.
You two are the sweethearts of the century.
Well, every pony, that's part 11 and chapter 12. So yeah, I have nothing much to say really up here except this, I believe, has been the longest freaking video I've done. I believe it has. I'm not quite sure. Anywho, actually, no, it's not the longest one I've done. If you go back to part 10, you'll see it's about 7 minutes and 45 seconds. That's the longest one I've done, but I'm still thinking this will be the longest one I've done. So yeah, goodbye every pony.